Okay, everyone, it's about a 1 minute warning. We'll just let you know that America Free Radio is about to go live. So glad to have you here this Sunday evening for Truth Frequency Radio Network. With the America Free Radio program. Just waiting for one more affiliate to sign in. And we are now ready. So let's go ahead and bring in the studio. Okay, give me 1 second to add the caller line. Second here. That should work. And we should be live. Okay, so we are going to keep working on it, and no intro music tonight. So greetings, Earth Explorers. Welcome to X Squared Radio. I'm your host, Brooks Agnew, coming to you live from an undisclosed location east of the Appalachian Mountains. This is where the past meets the future. In here, the results are always positive. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We have a lot of news to go over with you tonight. Glad the chat room is already filling up. Papa Susie, Ammon223, Top Drifter, Jay Franklin. We are streaming live now tonight, again, through the Truth Frequency Radio Network, going out through TalkStream Live to radio stations all over the world. And we are also streaming live on Foxhole, Twitch, Facebook, DLive, Twitter, YouTube, and Rumble. And all archives are saved on Odyssey. And we're actively moving some of the archives from YouTube over to Rumble so that our Rumbleites can enjoy them as well. Good to see you out there, William. Channel changer. This is really strange times we live in right now, isn't it? Just a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I don't want you to panic. I want you to be aware, awake, prepared, so that you can go forth fearless. And tuning in here and telling your friends about this will treat, cure, and prevent the disease of ignorance. So we're glad you're here and participating. And by the way, thanks for showing up last night with Mike Barra. We were on his program last night. That makes 2 Saturday nights in a row. We might make it a regular thing for a while because of our efforts to bring you certain things that YouTube won't let us tell you about. And we'll let YouTube go after a while. So if you signed in on YouTube, I'm so glad that you're here. I love you. I want you to be here. Our many subscribers on YouTube are all welcome here. And we'll start every program allowing YouTube to carry some of our content. But because Google routinely discriminates against our constitutional civil rights, we don't let YouTube host most of our content. It offends them, and that's the last thing in the world we want to do. So we will be saying goodbye to YouTube in a short while. You can hang out, but know this. All you have to do to stay with us is tune into one of the other free speech platforms that you see right down here, right? See right there in the description. Yep, they're all there. HTTPS. See that right there? All of those streaming platforms are there. They can all take a tremendous amount of bandwidth. So if it gets slow or choppy or whatever because there are too many people listening, just switch to one of the other platforms. We're on them all. So we're trying to get you the word, trying to keep you informed, trying to let you share it with your friends on your media because that's how we grow. You know that radio hosts like me, we've been around for a long time. We're in our 17th year. I think in March of 2022, we'll begin our 18th year as video or podcasting. And I think about 7 or 8 years now, video podcasting as well. weren't one of the pioneers. That would be Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh was the originator of podcasting with the Rush 24/7, and with the Ditto Cam. That was the first attempt at really video blogging or video radio, and it really worked well. He started a trend, and we're all here. We're all here because of him, because of his voice out there opposing the global media or the global syndicate. And so let's get started. We have a big story to start off. The Anti-Commerce Department. This is a story from a guy who bought a Lotus Europa. I don't know if you remember these cars. They were kind of wedgy in their day. It was kind of like, sleek and aerodynamic, but pretty simple to build, pretty lightweight. Anyway, it was in 1968. And he bought it primarily because of the way it looked. He said he loved it at first on a day when there was no snow and ice on the streets. It was a fantastic car to drive. Then winter in Montana came, and it was essentially useless for transportation. He says, today I had deja vu all over again after I reread the proposed amendment to the 2022 National Defense Authorization Act of Senator Gillibrand on UAP. You know what UAP is, right? Unauthorized aerial phenomenon, or unidentified aerial phenomenon. He said, I love the fact that we now had a comprehensive proposal to institute the study of UAP in government. However, on closer look, the devil's always in the details. The amendment would, and here we're going to quote, so pay attention, because whenever the government states stuff like this, it has far-reaching implications. Establish the Anomaly Surveillance and Resolution Office. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a brand new enforcement office under the National Defense Authorization Act. This office would take over the functions of what has been known in the past as the UAP Task Force. Did you know we had one? Did you know we had a UAP Task Force? Have you seen them out there? Flying across the sky, chasing? No? Me neither. I've never seen them. Never heard of anything caught by them. It would function under the joint direction of the Department of Defense, and get this, the ODNI. Yeah, the Office of Defense National Intelligence. The office would be able to conduct field investigations and have rapid response teams. Wait, isn't that what MUFON does? Doesn't MUFON do that? Huh? Doesn't MUFON do rapid response and investigations? It would organize reporting procedures throughout government agencies. So if you work in the IRS, you work in the Commerce Department, you work in the the Department of Education. If you see a UFO, you now have, a text line that you can text. Text UFO to, whatever. I'm not kidding. It would perform. I gotta have a drink of water to read this. Excuse me. Because I don't even know how they're going to do this. Not without calling me. It would perform scientific evaluations. It would evaluate any threat. Coordinate with other agencies, including in foreign countries. It would assign priorities. And here's the big one, it would be fully funded. Yeah, fully funded. What the hell does that mean? Can I see a show of hands of everybody out there that's fully funded? I didn't think so. I didn't think so. It would be required to give classified briefings to congressional committees. Would that include Adam Schiff? Would that include Nancy Pelosi? Would that include AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? And it would a written report annually beginning October 31st, which is, by the way, Halloween, 2022. It allows for every Halloween you'll give your report. I love it. That's too good. It isn't it? It's too good. It allows for an advisory committee. I knew I could help. I knew it. It would allow for an a fully funded advisory committee. Aerial and you got to get ready for this. You got a pencil? Because this is a new acronym. It needs to be out there. Aerial and Transmedium Phenomena Advisory Committee, known as ATPAC. Yeah, ATPAC. Don't you love it? It would have 20 members, and they would advise the ASRO when requested. The makeup of ATPAC would include at least 10 from government agencies. It would specifically allow for 2 members from the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. Is there really such a thing? I can't believe it. An organization that nobody knows about. No one's ever heard of it. I've never seen anything published on them. Have you? In comic books, I got you. Ant-Man, come on. I don't even know what expertise they bring to the table. How can you be an expert on UAPs? Huh? If they're not supposed to exist, if an F-18 Super Hornet cannot even catch up with a freaking Tic Tac, how are we supposed to have UAP experts? Who's on that committee? Is it Richard Dreyfuss? Is it the French guy in the movie? I mean, what the hell? It gives the Galileo Project 3 members. What the hell's the Galileo Project? I mean, I certainly admire the objective of that project. They are relatively new. I mean, the study of aerial phenomenon. What if we go back to Project Blue Book? I'm sorry. There were other specific groups mentioned in the 20, and I wonder how these particular groups were selected by Senator Gillibrand, who is largely a space cadet herself. Both ASR and ATPAC would expire in 5 years. Why? It's fully funded. Freaking just let it go on. 50 years, 500 years. Why expire in 5 years? What's the significance of 5 years? I know. Flawless in the USA on DLive says WTF. No, Mark Hovsepian, this is not sarcasm. This is real stuff, okay? It's real money. It's real money. Anyway, her amendment does not address the following. It doesn't allow for public hearings or for open hearings. It consider a historical perspective on UAP or the long history of secrecy and disinformation. Any mention about public disclosure of findings, obtaining old and new witness testimonies. I got a bunch of people I know, especially at Mount Shasta and down there in Phoenix. And I mean, especially those who come from MUFON and from other organizations. There are lots of experts. For me, this whole thing doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have a whole fully funded division new for the National Defense Authorization Act for 2022. The whole concept of government investigation of UAPs ought to really excite confidence in the public. I mean, is this part of the infrastructure bill? Really? We've been living with extreme secrecy on this subject, have we not? I mean, we've been trying for disclosure for how long? Essentially, the U.S. government will continue using taxpayer funds to investigate UAPs, as they have done for, well, since the 50s, I guess, under the cloak of secrecy and not answering to the public, hiding everything they find, burying every study, calling everybody a conspiracy theorist who even suspects anything, or takes a picture, or makes a speech, or has a testimony of some abduction or alien probing. I think I'm going to write Senator Gillibrand. I think there's room on that committee for me. Don't you think? Don't you think it would be a good idea to have Brooks Agnew on that committee? Just to keep things grounded, just to keep things sane. See, everybody in the chat room, I saw a UAP once. I photographed one. I have a picture of one, broad daylight. I wasn't even a believer. I was still not a believer. I'm a scientist. I believe in God. I believe in creation. I believe that we are individual soul addresses in the universe, but I don't believe in UFOs any more than I believe in chemistry. I am a scientist. I go with data. Okay, so we have let YouTube join us for about 14 minutes now. And I hate it. I hate it. I know there's some people out there. Let me just see how many people we have watching on YouTube right now. Not many. Most everybody's made their transition. That's fine. Let's do this then. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube. Before you guys just say, Mr. Agnew cut me off. I'm no longer welcome on the program. You are. I promise you are. Please just make the transition to one of the other free speech platforms. Right down here. It's right there on your screen. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Go to Twitch. Go to Facebook even. Go to Foxhole. Go to dlive.tv. The stream is great there. Lots of people there. Go to Rumble. Okay, we got a few hundred Rumbles. They're out there. You can watch this live. So we're going to have to say goodbye to YouTube because of the violations of our civil rights.